Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Alex and this is Cancer Care Coloring, and I apologize for the delay in this video. It's been a couple of weeks since I put out the last video. We've had some technical difficulties with my hardware, and we've had some technical difficulties with my cancer therapy. So everything has been worked out. The computer and my hardware is doing what it needs to do. And hopefully my cancer therapy is doing what it needs to do. So I'm feeling pretty good and I'm ready to do another video. I decided, because I wanted to get a video out quickly, the drawing videos take me a little bit longer to set up and plan and get together and actually do the drawings. So this one we're going to do sort of like a behind the scenes. I'm going to do it like a behind the scenes video. And what that is normally I do the illustrations, I scan them, and then I turn those scans into the finished coloring pages. So an example of that is, this is an early version of the Monocyte character that was going to be, the plan was this one was going to be sort of the kid-friendly version. He's happy, he's not too intimidating. Ended up looking a little bit dopey, I think, but you know, whatever, it worked. And then, you know, behind the scenes in Photoshop, he ends up becoming a finished coloring page. Okay, so I wanted to do a more adult version of the Monocyte, a more grown-up version for the adult coloring book. And so this guy came about, and he is, you know, it's the same character. You can see the similarities, I guess. Let's see. Yep. But he is clearly the tougher of the two, and he's not going to take any gruff, but he doesn't have any arms. I just wanted to do him as a cell, and I thought I was going to have the characters sort of designed so they would just be cells when they were hanging out, and then when it was time for them to fight, their arms would just sort of form. And I decided that might be more confusing, you know, so I decided this guy's eventually going to have arms added to him. But he became a more advanced coloring page. All right. And again, I like him, but again, without the arms, I think he's an unfinished character. And I also think he may look just a little bit too mean, maybe a little bit, I don't know, maybe like he could even be a bad guy. So I wanted to find something between the two. So we've got the dopey Monocyte, and then we've got the sort of aggressive, I'm going to kick your ass Monocyte. And so then the last video that I put out was my final version, my final variant of the Monocyte, which was this guy. And so I think he's sort of a nice combination of the two. He's not dopey looking. He's definitely not evil looking. He looks like, I don't know, he looks heroic. I would say he looks heroic. So that's what we're going to do this week. I'm going to take this illustration. I am going to go ahead and go into Photoshop. I'm going to make the finished coloring page for him. It's not going to be a step-by-step tutorial. It's going to be relatively fast. I'm going to go ahead and do the speed up and throw some background music on there. And so I really don't see this video being overly long. But by the time we're done, we're going to have a new finished coloring page that I think I'm going to want to use for the actual coloring book. The other two are going to be variants that may or may not be used. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so if I've got everything set up the way I need it to be, see if everything's working. So far, so good. Let me scooch this guy over so we can see everything. All right, let's do it. Okay, I think that might do it. Talk about, actually, let's cancel that. Talk about a fast video. That went really quick. Now, I'm going to probably do variations of this. The triangles, not sure how I'm feeling about it. You saw in the, like, for this guy, I did, let's go ahead and go back to, for this guy, I did use one big triangle. And I may like that more. I like having the two triangles layered over top of each other because it gives more areas of coloring. And the one thing that I want to try to avoid is having huge, wide open areas. And I know that might be tough. And a lot of people will just ignore the background anyways if they're coloring. I am not one of those people. If I'm coloring a page, I'm pretty much going to make sure that I color the entire page. And huge, wide open areas are just boring to color. In the earlier version, you can see it wasn't a triangle. It was, I'm not even going to try to guess the name of the shape. It was just a rectangle that I bent out of shape a little bit. And it worked pretty well. So whether or not that ends up being the finished product, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see how it looks next to the other pages. I do see an issue here in the illustration where I did some whiteout. The lip was too big, and obviously the whiteout is showing. So I'm just going to quickly get rid of that. And again, I can come in and touch up this stuff, but a lot of it just won't show when it's printed. But that does look better. What I want to do right now before I print is, you can see my little specs. My scanner is amazingly good, and it gets everything. And this is just scanning at 300. I can scan up to a ridiculous, I almost think I can scan to a 12,000 resolution. Pretty positive I can. All right, but you can see some gray areas in there, and I don't want that to be gray in the coloring book. Don't like that guy. So on my own, I'm not going to sit here and do it for the video, but on my own, I'll go through and I'll touch up and get rid of some of the blemishes. But what I can do real quick is I can make the blacks blacker and the whites whiter. I know I said this wasn't going to be a tutorial, but really quick, I'm just going to click on all of the... Let me do... Being on the right layer would help, so let me get onto my layer here. Okay, so I'm going to go to hit the black. So now all of the black is selected throughout the whole illustration. And I'm just going to quickly hit black, go to the paintbrush, make the paintbrush huge, and I'm just going, it's hard to see actually if we can zoom in, is there somewhere, and I can actually click and make the black blacker. Let me go a little bit more. Let's go 60. We're going to hit that black. There's gray in there that I want to get rid of, so if I hit that, it'll now cover more of the grays. Now if I go to the black, it'll just turn it solid black. And that's what you want. That's what I want for a coloring book. So if I zoom out, I can just quickly go over the entire thing. And hopefully I'm not missing anything. See if looks pretty good. Now you can see there's more repair work right there. So let's Control D. Let's hit the white. And it did include it in the white, which is exactly what I was hoping it would do. So now I flip this over to white. Go back to my paintbrush. And now when I paint this, it's just going to paint it solid white. And it'll get rid of all of those blemishes that are inside. So, all right. And on my own, I will come in and make sure I'm not missing anything important. All right. Now when we zoom in, we don't have those areas of gray and the weirdness in the white. We have solid black, we have solid white, which is what we want. Okay, I think this looks pretty good. I'm going to quickly send this guy to the printer. And let's see. Let me jump out of the frame for a second. this makes for riveting video. I could cut it out, but why bother? This is just the real deal. All right, so ta-da! This is my finished coloring page, and I like it. I think, you know, taking from the original illustration, wish I could print a little bit larger, but that's okay. Better to have the larger illustrations and have them brought down to a smaller size than vice versa. So that's it for this week. Next week, it's going to be another drawing video, and I'm pretty happy with this. It was fast, it was short, and it was sweet, and I'm good to go. So if you like what you saw here, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing. The more subscribers I have, the more likely that I will eventually be noticed by the algorithm at YouTube, and maybe be included on some people's opening homepage, and we'll get more viewers and more support that way. Other ways that you can contact me will be at the end credits. And I think that's it. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video, and see you next time. Peace.